Hello.
Hey,
How goes it?
good. I love your green shirt.
Thank you.
Adorbs. Is it over a bathing suit?
Um, it's like it's not a bathing suit and it's not a bra. It's just kind of like
Super cute.
an addition.
I
I don't
like it.
know. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
you're
You look good
welcome.
in white.
Thanks.
So, we'll just start with welcome back to the little white picket fence.
Yes.
And I will just tell you that I have no idea where this is going today.
Me neither. Me neither. So that's okay.
Like, yeah, I have some stuff,
I'm okay.
but not really a plan. So if it
That's all
doesn't work, I'm
right.
sorry.
We don't have to have a plan. We just got to talk.
Awesome.
Let me
Awesome.
get all these like swirling thoughts somewhere else other than in here.
Other than in there,
Yeah. I
yeah.
need to escape. Okay, anyways,
Mine jump around a lot, so
we all
I don't
do.
know. Did you have a good week though?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it
Yeah.
really, oh my God, so busy. So busy.
Yeah.
Like we are, there are just not enough like people working to accommodate the amount of people needing things like dental
Hmm.
care, cleanings, whatever. It feels that way at least. I'm sure it's not the same everywhere, but around here in particular, we're having a really hard time. Like I'm the only hygienist at the office I'm at, and
Yeah.
it's kicking my butt a bit. We're definitely looking for somebody. And
Really?
yeah,
Do you ever have
yeah.
people come in looking for work, or is it just like,
Not really. I mean, if you think about it, like I mean, I wasn't working in hygiene during the pandemic because I had left for a while and I just went back. So I didn't really realize or think about the fact that hygienists were one of the I guess one of the groups of people who were hit the hardest by the pandemic because we um we work so closely with people and they're like aerosols, aerosols,
uh-huh.
you know what I mean? We're like
Yeah.
with the ultrasonic scaler, there's a lot of just aerosols flying around, mixing with people's stuff in their mouth. So it makes sense. It makes sense. And we do wear like extra PPE. Like we always wear masks and gloves, but and
Yeah.
even
But
I have
if
my
you're
loupes and
working with
goggles.
spit, it's just gonna happen. I
Yeah, but
mean,
now we wear like lab coats and I wear a surgical cap. Like so I'm like extra
really?
I am extra covered and I'll tell you it gets freaking hot back there, which is hard to be like
I believe
we
you.
we keep it kind of cool because of that. And then we just
Hmm.
offer our patients like blankets and pillows. Because we're like, I'm working wearing all this stuff and it gets really hot, which sometimes you can feel like there have been times where I've been really busy hopping patient to patient to patient, trying to like
Uh-huh.
do perio chartings for like new patients so that they can get on the schedule for cleaning and blah blah blah.
Hmm.
Where I'm like, I'll be like, I'll feel so hot for a minute that I have to like just sit back and I'll like pretend like I'm doing something on the
Breathe.
computer. And yeah, I'm not doing anything on the computer. I'm literally just like cooling off, breathing. I'll pull down the mask for a second and just like take in a couple deep breaths. And I'm like, just checking your x-ray here.
Yep.
And by that I mean anyways.
Yeah. No, I
So
I would have to do that as well.
yeah.
You have like
And
extra fans by the computer, so
and it's funny
like
because
extra
the
air.
doctor that I work with, she's always cold and carries around a personal space heater. Like, it's got to be something in
Oh,
her internal. She's just cold blooded.
right.
I don't know, but it's pretty
She's
funny.
loving life if it's warm.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm. Anyway, so
Well, I hope it gets
my week
less
was good.
busy.
How
Are
was
people
yours?
are people nice? Like when you
Um,
guys get busy, or do they get frustrated?
do people definitely get frustrated? But I've definitely started like kind of voicing my like, hey, we're trying. Like, and
Yeah.
I'll remind them things like we did just go through a pandemic and schooling was interrupted, which means that people coming out of the next class graduating and being licensed to perform a certain task took a break. And also certain people who were close to retirement were like, okay, this is
I'm
putting me
out.
into early retirement. There's, you know what I mean? I'm out. And
Yeah.
then a lot of people were affected by the pandemic and like getting sick and just being like, hey, I don't want to put myself in that risk. And that's their
Yeah.
right. That's what they get to
Yep.
do. And then, I mean, a lot of people I think also went home because like the struggle between like having two people work, like sometimes the money's not worth it because like just being able to have your children taken care of and like adequately like feeling like
Yeah.
you're
It
doing what's
changed a
best for
lot
them
of
to, it
things.
changed so many things. And I'm like so many people coming in like they, they have their expectations. That's fine. They want to get their thing done, but I want them to understand you are like the last generation of people who have things like retirements and a little bit in a bank
Yeah.
account and healthcare and coverage. You know what I mean? Like understand that you are in such a place of privilege. I, as the hygienist, have, I mean, and this is just because it's hard to get in the chair when you're behind the chair. Like it's hard to find a time. And especially when we're so backed up with patients ourselves, like we are a priority, but we just had a meeting and literally employees were like at the bottom. Oh, but they're there. It's like, yeah, we want to
Yeah,
take care of
but
our kid, but it's like it doesn't feel like a priority, which it's just hard to do. And I get it. I'm the one, like, I couldn't go where I am because I guess I could have the doctor clean my teeth, but I'm just going to go to my regular dentist and use my insurance and pay out of pocket, even though I have the benefit
yeah,
because I like who's, and I
you're
have
lowest on the totem pole.
it feels that way. I mean, if I like, I'm sure if I were more pushy, like, hey, I need to get this done. I'm not even to my 3 month yet. So it's not even like an available perk for me yet, I guess. But like I have a tooth that it was slated for a clown. I'm a hygienist, guys. It's slated for a crown. Um, and it was literally before Bella was born. So more than 13 years ago, because I did
Man,
adult ortho. So I had braces, but before I had the braces, I need to get like the decay that was in my mouth under control. And I really didn't grow up with like great access to care or education about it or any value. Like I didn't understand any of it until I really got into the field. And so I had a lot of decay and I had a lot of
yeah,
old silver fillings. And we needed to take care of the decay before I did the ortho. So we did really large fillings that wouldn't be recommended. Like it's not a strong enough material to be like there for the long term. So just to get me
yeah.
through ortho treatment, we did some like interim restorative work.
Mhm.
And I'm still living with that. I had so many teeth in my mouth, like it was just the way we decided to do it. I think we could do crowns first, but it's what worked for my mouth because I had a
Yeah,
particularly difficult case too. I like you've heard the story about my front teeth, right? Like how I got hit in the mouth with a baseball
yeah,
bat
yeah, yeah.
in the 6th grade. Yeah. And
Uh-huh.
so like these are fake. Thank goodness I ended up in the dental field, which I'm sure that's why I
Yeah,
spent so much time in the chair that it was just made sense to like
just natural.
to
It just
just get in the chair, I guess. But like,
mhm.
yeah, did I ever tell you that whole story? I'm sure I did. Do you remember it?
I remember parts. Go
Yeah,
tell it
yeah.
again.
Well, it's not like a great story or anything. It just kind of makes me laugh just because number one, I don't think you'd find a baseball bat at recess anymore. Like I just
Not
don't know
really.
that they would have that. It would be more regulated or something, which, and I mean, I was too close, I guess. So whatever. But we were playing baseball, softball at recess, and I remember
Yeah.
the kid that was up to bat. His name was Jesus, and I only know this because the entire class wrote cards to me, like get better cards and stuff. Like you did that in not kindergarten, but
Elementary
grade
school.
school, elementary school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had all these like cards that my mom kept for a long time and I wish I still had. But poor Jesus, most of them just said, "We hate Jesus." Like the poor kid hit me on his backswing. Like it wasn't
Like he didn't like come after you with the bat.
exactly. And it pretty much knocked me
Poor
out.
guy.
So I don't even remember. So no hard feelings at all. But you know, like pretty dang, I don't know,
Teeth were a
funny that
casualty.
the kids were just like, I don't know. I don't know
They're
that
so
anybody was,
protective.
yeah, I guess. I don't know that anybody was mean to him. I don't think it was like it was just more everybody was like, "Oh, how dare he?" I don't know. It was just
That's what
funny,
kids do.
I
That's what
guess.
kids do.
Anyways, so yeah, I
Speak.
don't know. I think we were talking about my week, but we're supposed to be doing a podcast and you're supposed to be the one picking the topic. So back to you.
That's okay. Your week is awesome. I
Was
want to
it?
know how your week has been. We haven't talked this week.
I know. And you didn't even tell me how your week was because I've been
Oh, mine was fine. I
you got
I worked in a garden a
oh,
lot, played
nice.
outside, and
Well, you're like essentially retired in a way, no? Yes, I know you have kids, and I know so that's not real.
absolutely.
But like, you know, Cody worked so hard and you guys worked so hard and then built something up that you were able to get to this like amazing position.
Yeah, we
And
still work.
so
He's cleaning out a crappy apartment this week
See,
that
I don't
somebody.
think, yeah, I don't think anybody would choose not to work. You're going to do things that are
Yeah,
productive for you in your life and the things that you're trying to work towards. But
yeah.
you are in like a very, I hope to be in your position one day. You know
Well,
what I
it's
mean?
nice. Yeah, it's nice to be a little lower key.
Yeah.
We think that a lot when we're in the hot tub at like 10 o'clock in the morning. Like, well,
Uh,
that's
yeah,
would be
yeah. That's around the time that I think that I would probably want to get in a hot tub, but I'm not typically home or not working or without
yeah.
kids. But one day, and one
One
day.
day,
I
one
live
day,
I live
then
right basically in a retirement community, so I'm always hearing about, what they're doing and stuff like that. They essentially live at adult summer camp down here in the villages. Like there's so many
sweet. I want to
activities.
go.
No, seriously. I think
We always.
body in
Uh,
motion stays in motion. Like having a bunch of activities for your mind and your body. Like I'm down for it. Like
I need
let's
to find more
retire
activities.
together. Yeah.
Let's.
I want to
We.
travel. That's what I want to do.
That'd be fun. If I had unlimited funds, I would travel a lot of places,
Yeah. Yeah.
but the funds are still limited.
Yeah. But you're good, right? You all your basic needs are met,
Okay.
and you don't need a lot extra. And that's important too. You have enough. You're not constantly needing more and more and more. So that's good.
Well, there's always someplace more can go. You know what I mean? There's I
Mhm.
think whatever.
Yeah, but
But
you're
no,
not
I
like killing
I have no
yourself
complaints
going
with
for
where I
it. You're
am.
not like I must have more,
My whole life needs to revolve around.
work and
Yeah.
yeah, that's good.
Anyway, I think somebody else could probably use it a little better. I'm not as
Why? It's
productive
your life.
as I should be lately.
There's no rules.
But
There's no
there
rules.
are no rules for
Don't
life.
except for
There are
don't
no rules.
hurt anybody else and care about the people around you. Like make your own little communities because we do all need to take care of each other.
You know what I found out as I was going through these journal entries trying to find stuff
What?
is I gave myself a lot of rules. A lot of rules. And a lot of times
Yeah.
I like blamed religion, which was feeding me said rules, but they were mine. I owned them. Not everybody who
Yeah.
belonged to our
Well,
gave each other
but
gave themselves such.
good for you for taking like accountability for everything that is your
Yeah.
actions. But when you're born into a certain thing with a certain belief system, there's not really like it's damn near impossible to not believe everything you're being told. You don't come into this world thinking, oh, someone's about to tell me what life is before I even get a chance to figure it out for myself. It's not,
Well, I didn't want to figure it out for myself. Somebody else did, and I was like, I will be exactly obedient, and it will be awesome. Like seriously, reading through
Yeah.
this, I was just like, wow, wow.
Oh yeah, so that's our topic for today,
That's
right?
our
Is
topic
that
today. Was I went
Emily's
through my journals,
journal. Yeah.
which is going to be terrible, by the way, because
No, but
I don't,
I was
I don't
just
know,
like, you said you wrote about me, and I was like, I didn't keep a
a
journal.
lot. You were in there
So
a lot,
yeah,
but mostly it was like 2 or 3 sentences. The
mhm.
bigger the thing that we did, the less I wrote about it. And like the stupider the thing we did, I've got like pages
Oh, okay.
on stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So like, um, for example, let's see what I can
Yeah.
find here.
It's
And there's like no organization to this. So
cool.
um, I talked about how we went to somebody's baptism, right? It
Okay.
was like one of our like not adults, they're probably like 18 year old friends got baptized, and while he was getting dressed, they asked, how did you guys meet this person?
Mhm.
And you and I had met him by throwing toilet paper into his car at a red light.
Oh my
Do you remember
God.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
had a habit of throwing shit in people's cars. Now that there was this one time,
it's a great way to meet people.
well, I worked at the hospital in Payson and I
uh,
can't remember the kid's name, but like, oh God, like I think he took me to one dance, but it was never like, I think it was just kind of like, oh, hey, you're a
fun.
girl I could take. Yeah, it was very fun. Like a
Yeah.
relationship was never like romantic or anything. But like
Yeah.
he was driving by and like waved and I hucked the bagel that was in my hand right into his car at him.
You had a good arm. You had a good
Yeah, I
arm.
did. And I thought it was funny. I was like, hey, hey. But, yeah.
it,
Do
it
you
worked a lot
remember
because
the story of why we threw the toilet paper? Because I'm drawing a blank. Like all of that sounds
we were
familiar.
I do know because I read a lot of things. We were on our way to toilet paper somebody's apartment, and I don't remember who's exactly.
Okay. Okay. So
Back
this is
when
when we
toilet
were
paper
living
was,
in, yeah, we were living in Miller,
yeah,
and toilet paper was just a commodity we threw away on houses.
you could decorate people's lawns with it.
Why did we do that? That was really annoying. It's so wasteful and just such little assholes. But did you toilet paper when you were younger too?
Only a couple of times.
I did a couple times too, but one time in particular, my friend, I don't know if I should say his name because I don't know, but his name is Tony. And he was like napping in his house. So we would always go over there and like jump on the trampoline. And I was in like 7th grade, maybe 8th grade. I don't know. But also
Yeah.
another one where like I had a lot of friends who were boys because I was like super athletic. I really liked
And you were
playing
fun.
sports and I just liked playing. Yeah. So but his mom wasn't home and you know, we lived in a small town. So we just went inside and we got his toilet paper from his house and toilet papered his house while he was asleep because he wasn't
He used his own toilet paper to get his house. Insult
like,
to injury.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, well, apparently we were still doing it as teenagers.
I know. Well, that sounds like we were, well, I guess we were teenagers, but we were already in college at least when we did that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I thought that was really funny. And now I'm like, I feel like a little bit of an asshole. Like somebody had to clean that up. I created like work for someone. I'm sorry. Okay.
Aw, look at your conscience
Anyway.
being all like conscious like.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so anyway, with that one, we said that we were the ones that threw toilet paper at a red light, and apparently everybody there had heard of us. They're like, woohoo. Like that was you guys. Anyways,
you're the ones
let's
who threw
see.
the toilet paper.
We
Yeah.
were.
We made
We
friends
were,
in
okay.
interesting ways. It was really fun.
We did.
And then it was like
We
there would
did.
be like an experience with them, and then we'd never see them again in our lives.
And then
it
we'd
was
never
great.
see them again.
Yeah.
No.
Just
So
like the
to any of our
speedwalkers.
friends, that we did something with more than once, you were like the true blue friends.
Yeah.
Because in that same, I was gonna say episode, in the same episode, we went to the gym, had a Chinese fire drill, and went to classic skating for disco night with some hitchhikers.
I just clapped for us.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. So much. So many things.
Yeah.
So
I really, really, really want to go disco skating when I come out to Utah next.
hey,
Even if
let's
they're
do
not
it.
still
I am
doing
in.
it there, we're gonna go do it and just
It's not
request
that hard.
the hustle on repeat. I'll see
Yeah.
if like
All
if I can
ABBA.
get a hold of like Nate and his crew who worked there when we would go there all the time and like be like it's
This
just
should happen.
it would be so fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even though it's more 80s, when I watch Stranger Things, some of their outfits, I'm like, we wore those skating a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Not because we lived that, but because we lived that.
Mhm. Because that's what we would find when we went to Goodwill, and
Yeah.
it was funny.
And I was just talking to somebody how I'm like, I still to this day, I like dressing up. Like I like almost getting in character, like throwing parties that are themed.
It's just fun.
For my birthday. Like I think this
Mhm.
is pretty big. It's my 40th birthday this year. I think you
That
and
is a
Cody
big
should
one.
come to Florida for my 40th birthday because we're gonna turn the house into a bar for a night. And
Yeah.
we're gonna do just for our friends. It's not actually a bar, so it's like, you know, just a mock bar or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be like a 20s themed speakeasy.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, but we'll have a bartender and everything. Like my niece is gonna bartend. We've done it before. I like,
Perfect.
yeah, but I'm serious. I put it, you know.
Okay.
I know that's a lot of money.
I will.
but-
Is it on your birthday?
Actually, I haven't like locked down the date, so we could work with like what would work for you. You know what I mean?
I have no idea, but let's shoot the details and like figure this
Yeah,
out. 'Cause
yeah.
That'd be
That'd be
really fun.
awesome.
I
Anyways,
could dress 20s. We'll figure this
yeah, you
out.
could. Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
I have
Although
plenty.
when you
I
do
have
those little
plenty of 20s.
headbands,
Yes.
I look so bad.
No,
Just
you
like
don't.
there's something wrong with my head to where it's like,
No, there's something wrong with your brain. You have dysmorphia about something on yourself because
I think I look for Mormon people, I look like a Nephite. Like it's
okay. Nobody's thinking that. I mean, maybe
That's
in Mormon
me.
culture, except for you. except for you.
Except me. I don't care. I would look like a Nephi for you. Let's go. Let's do this.
Thanks. And you
Okay.
don't have to go Nephi. You could go one of those flower things, a big flower like poofy. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I'll style you. I got
Please
this. Don't
do.
you
That would
worry.
be fun. We haven't done that since
Oh my
like
God.
college.
Yes. And I actually I did like a kind of different lash today. They're like more broken apart, like instead of like big pieces, and getting better.
Liking it.
Yeah. And I'm trying to like get better because for Bella, she's getting ready to go to nationals for twirling. And
Nice, Bella.
yeah, and I want to do her lashes because everybody else does them. So I want to,
Make them
help her go all out too, because she puts a lot into it. So
and it's
I mean,
fun to do it for that kind of stuff.
It's a lot of
half the
fun.
fun.
Yeah, I just like playing with makeup still. I'm just a big kid. Everybody.
Hey, we did that a lot.
Right? Mm-hmm.
Yes. Do you remember those CDs of makeup that we got? I don't remember where. And they were all like super. It was like a CD case, and it had like all the super. I was going like this as if this would help you remember.
No, but it's like a palette of things, right?
Yeah.
So,
yes.
Like lip glosses, and
they were so bright. Like
I don't remember specifically that one that you're talking about, but
bright.
I know what you're talking about. But CD, right?
I don't know where we got them from, but they were wonderful.
Yeah,
they were great.
They're right up there with like the James Charles palette.
Yeah. Yes. If James palette or James, if James Charles got his palette at the dollar store, then yes.
James Charles, please name your next palette. James palette.
Okay. James palette, the dollar store version.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So on this next one, this is exactly what I'm talking about as far as like the stuff that we didn't do got more attention. Because I wrote, today Rachel and I did everything and nothing. We went to the gym and worked out, talked to some guy on the phone, tried to record our song, talked to Matt on the phone, found a way to find Corbin Allred, played on the computer, watched a movie, went to Movies 8 and didn't watch anything, went to the MTC, went to Brandon's house and watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off, drove Maine on the way home and met up with two guys that we were friends with in high school. I'll leave their names out. But bought pizza, came back to my house and ate it. Pretty fun stuff. That's all I wrote.
Oh, that day exhausted me, but also like gave me so like it's like I kept flashing from thing to thing to thing.
Just like bam, 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 bam,
yeah,
bam, bam.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So
that was
it was so good. I would do a day like that again. That was fun.
Yeah. What date? Do you have the date of that? Was it like a weekday or it had to have been a weekend?
It had to have been a weekend. I just shut my book. Let's see. It was in 2000. No freaking idea.
Okay. So I was this must have been between my senior and junior year. So you must have just graduated and I was getting ready to go into my senior year in high
school. I think it was just before I graduated.
Oh, okay.
I think we were still in high school.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Do you remember you were who was with me when and maybe you wrote about this. We went up, I think it was like Provo Canyon Trail or something, and we were playing volleyball and Valerie was there. And then we ended up by like the Arctic Circle. Is that a thing? I don't know. In Spanish Fork, there used to be this. So you weren't there? This wasn't you?
Probably not. It doesn't ring a bell.
It's not ringing a bell. Oh, we like played
knowing me, I was there
like for a whole day. Like we played up the canyon, but then we came back. And I don't know if we were waiting on somebody's mom to pick us up, or we were playing outside on the grass outside of like a restaurant. It was just like an exhausting day of volleyball, but I remember it like it was so fun. Like we just played all day. Anyways, random. Go on.
Those are the best days. The best days. And it made an impact.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have Rachel and I crimped our hair and we went to the gas station. And while I was there, I threw my keys onto the dashboard and they fell down the air conditioner and I had to run home. Luckily, we must have been close enough. I don't know. Yeah. I'm telling you,
and running home from the gas station to your house because you had to
with
go
my hair crimped and
You know, my senior yearbook picture, my hair is crimped.
Yeah,
and I did not grow up in the 90s. Or like it wasn't something that was done like for real. But yeah, no, me and another girl were gonna do it and she bailed and
she bailed.
I did it.
Let's see if I've got
nobody knew me or cared.
This is not going to be a clear picture because it's not anyway, but that's you with crimped hair right there.
Okay. What was
That's
this
me.
one? Okay, what was this one from?
Spring fling. When it took us like 4 hours to crimp everybody's hair. And I don't know why we did it, but we did.
For fun? Because we're
'Cause we
awesome.
could.
Yeah.
We were pretty awesome. Okay, let's see. What
Are
else?
pretty awesome.
I'm telling you, most of this is like not even. Anyway,
It's
just
fun for me.
oh, good.
So, you know.
Okay, you'll remember this one because
Okay.
I said it was so warm today, 75 degrees. Rachel and I were walking down the hall, making fun of each other. And as we were turning a corner, I said, "So what about that wart on your butt?" And, which was non-existent. I was making crap up.
Thanks for covering that for me.
No problem. And we ran into this guy walking the other way. Like, do you remember the look on his face?
No.
I do, very vividly, because I felt really
Yeah.
bad.
Okay.
Okay, we both laughed way
Mm.
hard, and then we went to get gas. Rachel had $10 in one, so we each put one in our bra and one in our shoe and one in our pockets everywhere. So when we had got to the register, we had to pull them out of everywhere. That was funny.
See, I just
So
wish
dumb.
that I would I feel like we were like the OG jackass, but like in like a Mormon version. Like everything was
Molly Mormon
so
jackass
so
people.
cheesy and so like simple and
Just
stupid,
dumb,
but it was yeah.
but it made people smile. Like,
Ah,
oh, speaking of making people smile, you'll like this one
yeah.
too. Let's see if I can find it because it might take me a second.
Okay.
I have. It's near the beginning.
Okay.
So we went to a dance,
Mm-hmm.
dressed up, and I was wearing my mom's raincoat dress. I don't know if I'm going to find it or I'm just going to tell you about it because I'm sure people love waiting for this story. But anyways,
Lisa, do you
okay.
mind? I'm sorry.
Exactly. Okay, I will just tell you what happened because I'm not going
Okay.
to find it. So we were dressed up and I was wearing my mom's dress raincoat. It was like plasticky yellow raincoat material.
Mhm.
And
Kinda
she wore it in
short
the
too,
second
right?
grade. It was really short because she wore it in the second grade and I was wearing it when I was 17. And which, by the way, okay, anyway.
Do you have pictures?
Kind of. Not really, because this is why I want to find this one, because yes, I
Okay.
do have pictures, but
Oh my
because
God.
I got embarrassed that it was so short.
Oh.
I specifically say that I felt like a $2 hooker and I'll never do it again. Um,
Because did you feel very objectified and you weren't wanting to
no,
be? No?
I wasn't objectified. I was a whore for wanting to wear it.
Oh, well, okay, so that was just your Mormon brain telling you
That
you
was
were
my Mormon
bad
brain.
for having fun and feeling comfortable.
Yes. Yep. And anyway, I'm not gonna find it. And that's really sad because that's like my favorite one. Anyway, so when we went to this dance and then I felt stupid. So we went back to your house and I put pants on underneath the dress.
And then you felt better.
And I felt better. I did. And we even wore jackets later. So in the picture you can see like this much of the dress.
I'm so remembering this.
Yeah, no, it's there. It's there. But then we stopped at a gas station and this little girl was pointing it to us and like smiling. And her mom like smacks her and she goes, "Shut up, Danzalik, they're weird." Do you remember?
I remember. And we were weird. But you're an asshole.
Right? Okay, we'll try to.
Fine. She was enjoying.
Where is the picture?
Whatever.
Right there?
Oh,
See,
yeah.
I'm wearing that big old jacket. There you are on the other end.
Yeah, and I put on a jacket with you. We looked ridiculous, but
it was terrible. It was terrible.
But you were comfortable.
We ruined the look.
No, that's okay. You needed to be comfortable. That's fine.
Did I need to be that comfortable? For reals. Like,
I'm laughing so hard I'm like throwing myself around. It's not that funny, Rachel. Calm down.
No, it is. You remember what it was like. Like half of this, people are probably like, that wasn't that funny. When you're there, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Like
everything's so funny.
Everything is so funny. Like Christmas Eve when you and Caressa came to my house. Oh, right here.
Okay.
It says, oh yeah, on Christmas Eve, Rachel and Carissa's little sister came over to show me Rachel's new feety pajamas. Like you had a onesie.
Yep. We rode
And we
down the
ended,
stairs, right?
yeah, we ended up taking turns sliding down the stairs on our stomachs. I jammed my toe and got a rug burn on my hip, but at least it was funny. Anyway,
Oh,
good
that was so
times.
fun. If you have
That
stairs
was
that are
fun.
carpeted, if you put on a
And
footy
feety
pajama,
pajamas. Yeah.
fun for days. You don't
For
have to be a kid.
days.
Didn't we also take like some like twin mattresses? Or was that not with you?
Probably.
Yeah. I
I'm
remember
sure we did
taking
something. We had sleeping bags at
twin
least.
mattresses downstairs.
Like
That
crashing
was
into the
probably in my
wall at the
house. We
bottom.
would just like, yeah, we would just like dismantle things to have fun. I don't know how my parents didn't go insane.
You just can't have nice things.
No, really, they could not
That's
have
what I
nice
heard.
things. I was like the instigator of all instigators. Like seriously, me and my siblings had a
Uh-huh.
butter fight. Do you know how destructive a butter fight is? We like ruined the walls in a room, a large room. But when kids need to stay home for a long time in the middle of nowhere on a farm and you buy in bulk and one of them is crazy, then you come up with ideas like we had
Like, let's throw butter.
toothpicks and like pounds of butter, and we were like dipping it in the butter and throwing them at each other like as hard as we could, but we were on two beds on two sides of the room and we literally destroyed the walls. And I'm like, I'm sorry, mom and dad, that was
With
crazy.
me.
Yeah, but why? You said your daughter painted in with some butter, right? But hers was like
Yes.
so innocent and sweet, like she was creating something. I was like kind of
Well,
pretty much knowingly being destructive. Like,
yeah.
what a little butthead I was. But I
My
wasn't thinking
according
about that at all. I was literally just thinking
no,
about
it
having
was
fun.
attack.
There was no malintent. I wasn't like, I'm gonna fuck this shit up. I was just like, I'm
Yeah.
bored and I need to be entertained.
And it was
And
probably like, look, the butter sticks to the wall. Let's keep this up.
yeah, and entertain me another time, because this one's another
Are you not entertained?
yeah, this is another really weird one, because for whatever reason, like I actually said to my mom once, I was like, remember when you had us paint the like basement stairs green? And I remembered this thing like with our toothbrushes, and my mom was like, made you like, and then I'm thinking back, I instigated that. I decided we should paint it, you know,
With
and
toothbrushes.
because I found paint. And so yeah, and I could think of so many stories where like I basically would like led the charge into like really stupid things, and I'm like, I might have gone crazy if I was my own parent.
Right?
Because I try to let my girls be very like, like expressive and do what they want to do. But
Explore.
yeah, like I've even let them draw on the walls or like paint on the walls and do things, but there's some sort of a structure kind of to it. Whereas I was like a little
Yeah.
free range crazy.
Yeah.
But it was
Yeah.
fun.
I remember using cherries to doodle on somebody's side of their house, and then when it rained, all of the paint came off the side.
Oh
So
no.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Also, do you remember the story we told? Well, of course you do, but when we went to Layton because you stole socks and we were returning the dollar?
Yeah. And my guilty conscience got me.
Yeah.
So
Well,
good.
apparently I was like your best friend or something because I mentioned the whole Layton trip, and
Uh-huh.
not once do I mention that you stole something. And I think I whitewashed that on purpose. Like,
What?
I'm like, what? I don't even say the reason we're going.
Oh my
We
god.
just happened to go to Layton today.
Did you make it about Chris maybe? Because when
Yes,
we
I
went
did.
to, I figured, and that like I wanted to do that, but then it was like, but if I'm gonna go there, there was this kid who I had a crush on in like the sixth grade, and we hung out, like we were kind of friends in the sixth grade. I would go to his house and jump on the trampoline and stuff, but like
Yeah.
it was so awkward, but also kind of ballsy now looking back. Like I realize how ballsy that was, because I'm like, people are afraid to say like I like you or whatever, and I was just like, and it's not
Yeah,
that
I
I
had a crush
said,
on you. Let's hang
hey, I
out.
like you, I have a crush on you, but obviously
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm in town, I want to see you, obviously, but he was, he had changed a lot, and we weren't really
Best friends.
similar best friends anymore, but we did get to see him and have like
Yeah.
funny, weird interactions, and you gotta
Mhm.
hang out
We
with
did.
his little sibling, I think.
Yeah, I remember watching Elmo in Grouchland.
Yeah.
And then we met up at the mall later, even though we didn't know where to meet.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And he was right there when we walked in the door, and it was like a side weird door.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he was weird. I was probably weird too. He was probably telling stories just the same though, like this weird like girl who I knew in like the 6th grade and her friend like just showed up
showed up,
and we're like, hey, I knew you when. And then I
right?
slightly suggested we meet at the mall. And just kidding. No, we
And
know
then
he
they
definitely wanted to
came.
meet there because when we
Yeah.
for anybody who doesn't know, this kid was like, oh, if you're at the mall later, like maybe we
Maybe
could
we can
meet
be there
there. Like
too.
it was just very aloof, just whatever. And we're like,
So do you want to meet there? He's like,
yeah,
no, just, if
no,
you're
no, no,
there,
just if
maybe.
you're there, whatever. Like we're like, okay, cool. And then we left. And then before we were heading home, because I went and I guess returned like the $1 for the socks that I had stolen in the 6th grade when I was dared to
Yep.
steal it.
And I returned a dress, apparently.
Oh yeah.
Not that I stole, that
You just needed to return.
no, I had a friend in Layton that I had her dress, so we
We did a
returned
lot
that as
on this
well.
trip. We did a lot on this
We
trip.
did. We did a lot. But then we're like, should we just stop at the mall and see if they're there? And
Yeah. And we
lo
go
and
in
behold,
and he was like frustrated we weren't there earlier. And I'm
yeah.
like, and I was
But
like, red flag, like what? Like if you wanted me to come at a certain time,
this
then
is no longer
we very
fun.
much
We're leaving.
yeah, this isn't fun. I was like, what? We didn't even make a plan to be here. Anyways, it was good to
We weren't
see
even gonna
you.
come.
Goodbye.
See you later. Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, a lot of our best stories have like weird endings.
When you start weird, you end
Mhm.
weird.
It's true. It's true.
Mhm.
It's true. Um, do. Okay, I talked about going to classic skating and meeting up with all of your friends again, and they gave us free food and how I felt guilty receiving free food because other people have to pay for it. And then I
You
talked,
just that's a very sweet, like you just care about other people. That's sweet that you
yes,
included that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, and then I always like I'm so self-deprecating and like I was always so frustrated that I wasn't like perfect gospel-y or whatever, religiously.
It was almost like you
That
were like maybe professing to yourself like your sins to like get them out there in a way.
Well, I guess because right after I'm like, I hate when people have to pay for my food, I immediately launch into I need to work on saying my prayers. I need to, let's see, I need to work on saying my prayers better. They're getting rushed. Some of the morning or some of the meetings is lost. My goal is to become the best person I can be. I can't let temptation slow my eternal progression.
Yeah. And I think you always were the best person and you still
Not
are.
according
But
to
I'm
me.
so glad that you've learned that giving into temptation and enjoying certain aspects of life, as long as you're doing everything, if you're not
Well, and
hurting
it's not
anybody and you're
even
doing what feels
necessarily,
good to you, like,
it's not necessarily giving into temptation. It's allowing yourself to be a human being. And
yeah.
as far as like, I don't know, I felt like I was always on this like journey to perfection sort of thing. And I didn't realize it was stressing me out and I didn't realize how it made me see other people. But as soon as I was able to let that go, first of all, I realized my husband was like a freaking stellar individual. He was always awesome before, but it was this like
Yeah.
this Mormon picture of
You know what?
who are we and who do we want to be?
I
And
think when you can see yourself, all of a sudden you start seeing other people too. And when you give yourself more grace, you give others more grace, you know?
hmm yeah, and you stress people out a lot less.
Oh
Jiminy
my
Christmas.
goodness. Oh my
Like
goodness.
I didn't,
I feel you
oh
on this one. I do.
yeah.
I was like, I don't think I was quite the same as you, like obviously, but
I don't think many people were. I was kind of out there.
no, so was I. I was just in my own different way. Oh gosh.
Hey,
Hey, so I think we're
we were
all,
just talking.
oh sorry. We're
That's right.
all
We were just talking about. Yes, we were.
anyway.
Anyway,
Okay.
go ahead.
I was gonna say the same. We're all weird. We're all,
Yeah, we are.
a little different. But also we did the best with what we knew at the time. And as we
Yeah.
learn and change, then I think it's important to be okay with like being like accepting that was wrong or bad. Like
Yeah.
it's hard to say that, like, because I don't think that I was raised bad or anything, but
No, me neither.
I just think that like some of the rules and restrictions that most religions seem to like follow are really like damaging to a lot of people who are just trying to like be here and
Intentionally.
be human and just exist, and they're not hurting anybody, and they're not like, them living their life does not in any way change what like
What you can do with
anybody
your
what you can do with yours. Yeah. And like it's just so important to, I don't know, think outside of what you think you know, I guess.
for sure. And to allow other people their own little journey and their own little learning experiences and
Yeah.
stop being so dang judgmental. And
Yeah.
for the love of Pete, slow the frick down. Like I'm reading this thinking, I'm like a million miles an hour, just go, 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 go. And
Mhm.
this is my journey and this is what I need to do. It's like,
Yeah.
take a breath, woman. Just like
Yeah.
chill
Like
out.
that stress, that anxiety that you feel like is kind of self-inflicted. Hi, Boo. You wanna
Hey,
see?
I want to hear something.
Oh,
hi there.
Hear something?
you want to hear something? Here.
Yeah, of
You have
course
to
I do.
you have to take out your binky and be a big girl for someone to hear you now.
I need my binky.
Nah, you don't need it
No.
right now. You got to talk to me. How
What
you
do you want
doing?
to tell Emily?
Ha
Ha ha. Ha ha.
I think she could just hear herself knocking on here. So
ha.
funny.
You're funny.
Okay. Hey, Bella or Haley, could you come here real quick? Okay. Yeah. Okay, you're gonna go back out with Hey. I'm gonna
Bye,
I'll be out there in a
Lena.
little bit, okay? Bye, crazy lady. I love you.
I don't want to. I want you, mommy.
I want you too, but I need a minute, okay? Will you shut this, please, and then shut the other door? Thanks. I love you.
We'll hurry so we
Anyways.
can get you back to being a mom.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of things. Anyway, what were we talking about right before that? Oh, religion and stuff. Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved the way I grew up, and I thought it was great. And some of the rules were really good for teaching you how to grow up. But I don't know.
I feel like
I think I lost
there
my way a little somewhere.
yeah, I think there's like value in like the community and like the family activities and like working together, you know what I mean, that are really
Getting
highly
to know
like
your neighbors.
highly encouraged in the faith. But I don't think that that's exclusive to like a faith or should be driven by that. But because people do associate with the church, like I don't think neighbors like associate as much with like each other unless you live
Yeah,
somewhere like where everybody's the same religion, maybe a little more. But I think because what you
yeah,
do with your time and where you go and where you meet people, if it's all at different churches, then we're all kind of like, our communities are like
segregated.
yeah, kind of, in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Just
like while I was thinking about this week, because I was going through all of this, I was thinking of the good, like the positives and the negatives,
mhm.
And here in Burley in the 80s,
Yeah.
there's a reservoir that was like, we got a lot of snow, and there was a reservoir that was filling up super fast. And all of a sudden it became super apparent that it was going to like go over the top and flood the entire city. Like it was
Yeah.
going to be super catastrophic.
Yeah.
And so because of the church and the way that everybody was connected with each other, they all got together and built basically a 20-mile canal
Yeah.
in 3 days and just saved the entire town. And they wouldn't have been able to do that had they not already had the structure in place of like the
Yeah.
church. And I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, things like that are very cool. And there, I like that there are starting to be like organizations or like groups, communities like that are
Yeah.
starting to just, because that is something I do see value in being able to help in communities. We need to work together. So there's one in Orlando that I want to check out. That's called like Oasis or something, but it's just it's not associated to church. It's just, it specifically is like just people who are looking for a community. Yeah. They have like people, they'll get like random speakers or whatever, like on different topics, I guess. I haven't went yet. Or do like meals, which is kind of like what we would do at the church. Only instead of listening to someone tell you the different beliefs that that particular sect has and how that is the way to be, just, you know, talk about what's going on in the world and pay a little more attention so we can all work together to build a reservoir or a dam or whatever we need to build to fix whatever the shit's going on right now.
Yeah. Amen. I like that.
Amen.
Yeah. We definitely still need to know our neighbors, and it doesn't always have to be religiously based.
Yeah. No, I think like just having conversations in general with people outside of your little world
Bubble.
is just so important. I just actually I just had a conversation with a guy who I met at work, and he's probably going to come on and talk to us one day on the podcast, just because he has a very interesting like life and perspective, and he sits definitely on like the other side of the aisle for me, I think, on a lot of things, or just how we identify. But he's been very open to like having conversations because he's just a talker, apparently, just like me. I'm like, man, I need more people like this, where because when he said the words, I was like, did he just say that? Because he's like, I align with conservative, but then I said something, he's like, but you did get me thinking. I've never thought about it in that way. And I was like, oh,
sweet.
Well, that was fantastic. And I think that makes me so much more receptive to probably hearing him, you know what I mean? So what a great step that he took in being like, hey, and I think we all need to learn more, not just to say like, hey, I haven't thought about it in that way. You know what I mean?
That's a good perspective. I learned a little something would be huge.
Exactly. And not going in just thinking that what you know holds all the truth that there is to be had about a situation or whatever. And we're never really going to get to the bottom of it until we all talk about it. And not just within our particular faith, because we're all just regurgitating what we all want to hear at that point in time. You need to be talking to people outside of it and really trying to understand theirs at the same time as you understand yours. Like, I think
so hard to do.
It is so hard to do.
I mean, it's not hard to do, but it is hard to do at the same time. Like,
but I'm finding it like, I mean, hard to do, but like I've been having conversations like that since the Roe versus Wade thing. It's just got a lot of people talking because people are putting things on Facebook, and because I'm not the type to like shy away from being like, oh, that's your belief, hey, here's mine, you know, like you put yours out there, I would like to put mine out there because it's just me. And it started conversations, and it's never went to like a hurtful, damaging, fighting place. It's always been just seeing each other's side. And I'm pretty sure that's probably what I want to talk about next week, because I just kind of want to talk about the different conversations that I've had now coming out of this. Like one of my cousins out in Utah who is on the other side of the fence from me, learning like her reasonings for why she does it. And but I do understand them, but now I just need to figure out how we can like bridge the gap.
Meet in the middle.
Middle, I guess. Yeah. Anyways,
well, I think my view on that is a little bit different. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think we should. I mean, if you don't want to, you don't have to, but I would like to. That's what I want to.
I can.
Okay, cool. And it's just, I'm not saying we're going to come up with a solution or anything. I just want to talk about it, you know, just be like, okay, these are some of my thoughts. These are the thoughts of the people that I'm talking to. And like, why do you feel the way you feel? How does the way you feel thinking that way, how does that benefit you? Who does it benefit? Why? You know what I mean? Just those types of things. Anyways, I don't want to go off onto it, but you know me, I will keep going. So we probably should just. Did you have any?
All good. So
I know. Do you have any more for this week?
More things?
Yeah.
I've just got. I have no idea what I've got. I just put little bookmarks in wherever your name was.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't have to go yet or anything. I checked my non-existent watch, and it said you're good.
Okay. Well, let's see. There was a time you and Anne-Marie went to Kmart and bought cereal and milk, and went to somebody's apartment and just like filled a giant mixing bowl with cereal and just sat there and ate it in the front lobby. That was good times.
Okay.
We cleaned a lot of people's apartments for no reason.
I think we took on like we literally, like that's what we thought our value was, I think.
Let's clean and make
Or
breakfast.
just take
and
care of people, like, oh hey, we enjoy you,
Yeah,
we
that's
like
true.
you, and we would go and like, because if you think about it, we never went and made any of our girlfriends breakfast and helped clean their house. It was guy friends, and they literally were
That's
just
true.
friends, and we would go and just be like, hey, we're gonna like help you out, and
This is what
it
girls
was
do.
like, yeah, exactly. And it's a little like, what, I don't even understand my thinking or reasoning behind that. I mean,
I don't either.
but you're welcome, and I'm sorry if we were weird. And
I'm not sorry. I'm not even a little bit sorry. We spread joy wherever we went.
Yes,
But yeah,
yes.
I would definitely do things a little different now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I would tell them to do their own damn laundry, and
I don't think they
then
asked
when
us
they're
though.
done, we'll
That's
go
the
play.
thing. Yeah.
There is one time they did. It was in here.
Oh,
Their laundry. We did their laundry one time.
oh my god. My god.
Right? So glad I wrote about that.
Yeah.
Oh, there was one that I thought was kind of, well, anyway, I was at school, and I'll just read it. It said, I actually went to school today and I didn't want to, but I guess it's one of those things that I have to do. The other day I was sitting in English class and I was getting frustrated thinking, I hate this teacher. I hate this class. I'm not learning anything. I don't really want to go to college. I don't want to be an athletic trainer. I don't want to be in the Miss Payson pageant. I looked at my future and I didn't like it. So instead of going to my next class, I went to Provo with Rachel. So I was having a pissy day and you went to Provo with me instead of
I
going to
wouldn't call that a pissy day. I would call that a, like, actually being honest with yourself, realizing that you were doing a lot of things that weren't because you wanted to do them, they were because you thought you were supposed to do them. Or it's just like,
I felt
even
overwhelmed,
still,
probably.
I picked my career off of being, you know, like I was going to grow up and be a wife and a mother. Like my career was like, yay, like, you know, we can, you know, whatever, you get a career, you get a pick, but I still very much limited myself. I did not pick what I picked because I ever thought about what I really wanted. My future already kind of existed, and I needed to, what could fit in with that.
Yep.
And while I'm so glad that I have children, the children who live with parents who maybe don't feel that way now and don't have like a great life because they just did what they were supposed to do and had kids, but really don't have the personality or like the right mental capacity to be like caring for and nurturing and bringing up children who are going to feel good about themselves and have felt cared for and understood and developed in a healthy way.
Yeah.
You know, like I hope for my girls to see them really think about what they want out of this life and like just be real intentional about like, what do you want? I'm not telling you have to be selfish, but to an extent you should be, because you are the only one that has to live with the consequences of your actions. You're the only one.
Yep.
I mean, yes, there are other people involved in your life, but ultimately we all just have our own little reality between our two little ears. And and nobody's just the same, and you gotta take charge of your own.
Yeah. Well, and my default is always still like the same rules I grew up with, even though they're not as religiously based anymore. It's like, oh no, you know, you don't date before you're 16, and
I don't have
okay,
any of that.
I'm jumping around a little bit,
That's all right.
but
That's all right.
I going through this, I remembered a talk that I really, really took to heart,
Okay.
like in my young women classes,
All right.
where my dating was based off of sorry, I got a notification on my phone. My dating was based off of the 3 rules that I learned in this talk.
Okay.
And the number 1 is 3 kisses is 2 kisses too many, right? So you're
Okay.
only allowed 1. If you kiss anybody with your feet off the ground, that's a no-no. Like your both feet need to be on the ground. And what was the other one? Oh, 3 seconds. You cannot kiss anybody longer than 3 seconds. So I guess it's not full on dating. It's just like the kissing
But
rule.
the all-inclusive
Those
thing
were-
is that your value is in what you give sexually. So reserve that, because that's the value you hold.
Yeah, pretty much. Like those are the things. And so if I ever went out of those three things, man, I felt like the biggest like
Slut,
failure
whore,
hussy.
hoe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real. A lot of this in here is
Oh,
like even
there's a lot of guilt, and I didn't write mine down,
a
but I
lot of
definitely
guilt.
felt a lot of like, and I was still relatively happy, but it definitely ate at me in ways. And I remember
Yeah,
like
it's so
I
weird.
was so naive. I did so little. Like I think I still, even without that, wouldn't have done tons. And maybe it's just
Yeah,
because like I was kind of standoffish with guys in that way. And it's probably because
yeah,
somebody touched me inappropriate when I was a kid. And it kind of made me have like a weird, I don't know,
aversion.
an aversion, like a drive. I wanted it, but the scare, the fear I felt froze me in panic. So it was like this weird,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I still
yeah.
have that, but
Juxtaposition.
it's so associated with this like terrifying loss of control moment. You know what I mean? I was 7. There was never any control anyways. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
um, but yeah, the guilt and the stuff like that when you're taught basically that your value is in sex, and but also just that sex is like bad versus sex is like a human,
well, and not
kind of a
even
natural thing.
sex,
Like
just like I felt like a hussy for holding hands. Like,
yeah, I know
you know what I
it's all
mean?
like
Like,
it's all leading though
I,
to that. They got to keep you from doing that. And it's like I don't think we were all going to go as far, especially with some like information. Like my girls understand what sex is in a way that I probably didn't understand until I was much older, but that gives them the ability to decide whether or not they want to participate and when they want to participate and who they want to participate with. And I think that's really what's going to be the most important thing is them
yeah,
having that like understanding that like sex
has
there is
nothing to do with
sex
whether the devil's trying to get you.
exactly, but and it's also it's just not like an inherently negative thing in the way that like everything is so over hypersexualized with little girls and stuff like that, which makes it really difficult to just teach them to love themselves and be free, because then they go out there, then they have to feel that
What value do I bring
yeah. But also just the people
that way?
who derive value in it and do it like vocally. Like do you notice that how like I've seen some things of this recently, maybe think of like, did you
Yeah.
got catcalled when you were younger but don't anymore? Do you notice that at all?
Um,
You're like, no, I still
no,
look
but
20
I
and I get catcalled all the time.
shut up. I do not. No, but I was like avoiding it so much when I was a little kid, like
Hmm.
not a little kid, but like a teenager, that
Yeah.
my goal was to be invisible almost. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if I didn't get
Yeah.
noticed, I was doing my job.
Yeah. Well, see, the good thing is
So,
I'm teaching my so I think this is telling us that we would feel that way anyways, because we do feel so objectified sometimes. And some people feel
yeah.
comfortable with it, and that's fine. But for others, see, I'm teaching my girls, you wear and do what you want. They still are in hoodies 99% of the time. You can't
Hmm.
tell anything about them, which is great because that's how they're comfortable. And I'm like,
Yep.
you telling me not to do it and making me have guilt associated with it, I don't think is the reason why I didn't do it. Because if I
Yeah.
wanted to, I would have done it anyway. So you should have just taught me safe sex. You should have taught me the consequences of sex, which could be STDs, could be pregnancies, could be a number of things. But just fucking talk about it instead of saying you're bad if you even think about it, which is essentially
Yeah.
what I feel like the message was that we received. You know what I mean?
Except when you get married, it's all of a sudden supposed to switch,
I
and you're
know.
like,
And then you get into it and you still feel guilt because, or you don't even understand how to like enjoy yourself because you're so just like, you're the object. You like, you've saved this for them or something. And like, you have to be perfect. And I don't know. It's very like skewed and fucked up because then how can you enjoy something when you have been taught it's bad forever? But we enjoy it too. But then we have to break through to the point where we're like, we can be selfish enough to even think about ourselves and not just making sure everybody else is okay first.
hmm
Sorry.
yeah. And no, we could launch into a
Oh,
great big thing here
I
because
am. I am.
there's even talks that I got after marriage, and I have the proof, but I have the talks because I took like a marriage and
Yeah.
family class in college. Like,
Yeah.
and if you go to BYU, you're required to take, I think you're required to take anyway, a marriage and family class preparing you for when you eventually get married. And there are
You might
talks,
not be required. You might have required it of yourself. Who knows?
yeah, something. Maybe it was
Yeah.
just a filler class,
It
but
probably is required.
yeah, the talks that I got in there, they there are a lot of damaging and bullcrappy things.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, my favorite being like, even when you're married, lust is something to keep in control of. Like, you don't want your partner feeling too out of control or too lustful. You know what I mean? So if I was getting romantic or something, I'm like, oh wait, I gotta gotta rein this in. No, go have a freaking good time. If my parents are listening to this, I apologize, but go have yourself a good and healthy
your
time.
parents are adults who I'm sure feel the same way, I hope.
And they have a volume button. Turn it off.
Hey, Lisa, earmuffs.
Just go like this, Mom. Go.
La 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 la
No.
la.
No, I hope my kids have like healthy sex lives when they.
Yeah, or just
I just
what
about
I
told
hope they
embarrassing
have
story, but-
whatever they want, whatever they're comfortable with, and I hope that everything they do is their choice and that they're happy with that, and that they
Yeah.
never have to overcome stupid little like things in their mind, which I'm sure they will. You know, I'm sure there's always something new that's kind of like the new thing that's gonna fuck you up, and I'm sure I'm doing it, but
Always, I am sure that there's like 90% of what I'm doing is like, whatever, it's gonna come back to bite me. But like yesterday, do you want to hear a funny story?
always.
And if my family is watching, turn it off. But no, yesterday my daughter went to go print something off at my husband's shop,
Okay.
which was by our old house, but is now, anyway, it's across town. So she went to do that, and for Christmas, I made my husband a cute little calendar, and
Mhm.
it's got like, you know,
Okay.
fun pictures in it,
Yeah.
and they'll
Love
put it
that.
away. Yeah, he'll put it away when people are coming over because that's just respectful.
Yeah.
But we forgot about it, and my daughter came in, and she came home, and she's like, she was so mad. She
Why?
would, well, she was, she wasn't like mad. She just
She
wouldn't
was
look
like-
at me.
She's like, I
Like,
didn't need to see that.
yep.
I mean,
She's like,
okay.
Mom, but
God, I am like, once I get out of the shower, like, I'm really hot. Like, I'll even cool down the water after, but I just need some time, you know? So my
Uh-huh.
kids are pretty used to my body. And
just
like, I
you
don't,
know.
I'm not like, hey, look at, but I exist. And if they walk in,
There you are.
this is my body, whatever. I need to cool off. So when Bella came across some on my phone too, she still though was like, why do you have that? And I'm like,
Yeah.
because I sent it to daddy. Like whenever I go get a massage, which I get a massage, which I should get a monthly because I get so tight from like hanging over patients. I need them freaking daily, but I am like literally a year behind. I have like I got like a subscription at Massage MB where I was
Uh-huh.
like, because I was trying to like make sure I would be like loose and stuff because I get really tight. I never
Yeah.
have time to go. So I've just like built up accumulated massages. I need to start doing them like all the time. Anyways, but when I go get massages, you take off your clothes first and then you get under the blankets. So I always snap Anthony a picture first. Like I'll like there's a mirror. So I'm always like,
That
hey,
is good.
uh-huh. And so
Perfect.
and I'm like, hey, I mean, I didn't like invite you to look through my pictures or anything. So I mean, sorry if it makes you uncomfortable, but she didn't even seem uncomfortable. She was just like, why do you have this? And I was like,
Yeah, like what is the thing?
I was
Because
like, because it's my phone.
and someday you'll have somebody you're snapping them for, and it's okay, or you won't, whatever. But
Exactly. Do what you want. Know that you
for
know
one
that you trust the
podcast-
person though, because
Yeah.
I've heard of like people sharing things because they get mad at the other person. So know that it's someone who you would trust or that you're fine with everybody seeing that, which I think
Yeah,
for
I was
me,
gonna say I'm at
to
the
point where I'm
right
like,
now. Yeah.
I wouldn't care. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's my body to put out there in whatever way I want to put it out there. And if someone sees it, I've already made that choice to take that picture. So
Yeah.
I don't want people.
If you're making money off it, shoot me some.
Yeah. I just deserve to make some money off of it. Is all is my body. So okay. I'm gonna say something that's like,
Okay.
everybody turn it off. Just kidding. No, Anthony, like he has like a collection because we've been together. We'll be married 18 years this year, and like there was one time where we like we were just playing around and foreplay. And we were like just going through the collection before because he enjoys whatever, and it was fun. But I was like, because I'm so much younger, and I was like, man, if I started something right now, but like from back then, it would look like I progressed, and I could like I'm gonna start my own little page. I didn't really, and I wasn't really, but it was kind of like, man, there's money in that. I already have the page. But I did not do it.
You did
But the
not,
fact
huh?
that I even had the thought, I was like, but
But I
it wouldn't,
could.
but I guess it's just that it wouldn't bother me that my body was
Yeah.
acting that way because it's
Not as
my
much.
body. And if I feel good about it and it made me feel good, if I feel good in those pictures and my husband likes them and he would probably be fine with it because he's okay with me existing as, I mean, he sees beauty in everybody. So,
Yeah, it's not as scary as it once was,
yeah,
like,
it used to be really scary. It used to be really
Yeah.
scary. Like if they see, and I think that's part of the upbringing too, because it's so scary to you. So it's like you just think they're constantly like basically there's girls lunging at them and they're just if you don't keep them happy, someone else will take them. And now I'm like, if you can take them, I don't want them.
right. It's like, you go ahead and try.
Yeah.
Maybe I
And
need the
if
reminder to try a little harder sometimes, but
yeah.
in
Well,
general, I think we do pretty good.
exactly. Yeah, no, I think you guys probably do great, but we all could do better. We all have to remember we like we all worked to get the person we're with, so we should continue to work to stay with the person we're with. Like me and Anthony haven't had a like time away for the longest time, and I'm so excited. We actually leave tonight. We're going just to Orlando for a couple
Really?
of nights. Yes, we're going paddleboarding tomorrow morning.
Fun.
Yes, and then tonight we're gonna Uber from the hotel to PF Chang's and eat all the food and drink all the
All the
drink.
food.
And well, I probably won't eat as much because I'm drinking and I haven't been drunk in a very long time.
Eat comfortably.
Yeah. I want to get like drunk and silly and just play like a kid with my husband and the pool.
Have the
hopefully we can
best
get with-
time ever.
We are. It has a pool, like the pool has a smoke bar. So probably we'll go like
Fun.
paddleboarding kind of early and then just come back and go to the pool and like have lunch at the pool and then have some
Just
drinks
hang
and
out.
just do whatever the fuck we want. And I'm very excited.
I love that. We should do an entire podcast on, keeping marriage fun. And,
Yeah.
we can, within reason, we don't need to be like, there are certain things you should figure out yourself. But in general, there are things you can do.
We're speaking for us. We don't claim to speak for anybody else. We could just say, hey, this is what I think helps or
There are little things we do to make your partner feel appreciated and loved and that,
yeah. And it's important
you
to
on the
do
same
that.
page.
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Anyway, we probably rambled enough, huh?
Yeah. But
So-
thank you for going through the journal for me because
Well, they're just, bits and
there's-
pieces, but we had a lot of fun.
yeah. So that was like a high school that we were into there. You'll have to see what you
Yeah.
got for like
For college.
college.
And
Yes.
you know what I did?
What?
And there's still some college journals, but I stopped writing for a while because I felt like a hussy because I would like date people and I would
Oh, and you
kiss
were
them
embarrassed by like
occasionally.
you would kiss
I thought I
Oh,
thought I was a terrible
thought I
human being.
knew you. I can't
You
remember.
were wrong.
Mm.
You were wrong. Anyway,
Mm.
no, I stopped writing because I'm like, I don't want my kids to read this and like look
Aw.
at my bad example. And now I'm like, dang it, I wish I would have. It was probably
It was probably
horrible.
freaking hilarious and stupid. Like we had crushes all the time on different people. We were like totally
Indeed.
just
But there's always like the 2 or 3 that stand out in the whole
Mhm.
realm of things. But there's a lot in there. Good gravy, there's a lot in there.
Oh my god.
That's why I'm
Okay.
like, slow the frick down. Slow down.
So maybe not on
Rein it in.
podcast. You might not be ready for that, but next time we're together and maybe for my birthday, that's what you could give me. I just because I know I'll know the people
So
and then
bad, Rach. Yeah. Just
it'll be fun.
okay.
Just
Well,
kidding.
it'll be one of the ones where I'll tell my husband he needs to go like this because even though he wasn't around then,
You know
I would
what?
still be
though?
like,
I mean, we all have a past. And like Anthony and I had no past, literally. And he has like a lot of past. I wasn't there. I can't judge him. Like, it's not like he was actively trying to hurt me. So if I'm talking about a guy who I had a crush on or something when I'm younger, like now I realize I'm not thinking lovingly about that person, just like I know he's not thinking lovingly when he tells like some story about his 16-year-old crush. Like it's not like, oh, I wish I could go back to that. Like those are like the awkward
I know,
years of
I just
figuring
feel
yourself
weird.
out. Yeah. And that's for you.
Yeah.
You could decide that. But it's just funny
It's just part
stories.
of who we
Just funny
were. And
stories at this point in time. And I'd
yeah,
almost like to laugh at how ridiculous that we are and were.
it's so ridiculous. And with the whole religion thing, it's like anybody you meet anywhere is like, well, these are the qualities he has that I would like in a husband someday. And I'm like, you sat next to him at a TGI Fridays. Just shut up. Demon
You were on a
Christmas.
search for your soulmate instead of
I-
search for who you were.
Yep, I knew who I was and where I was going.
No, somebody else knew. They'd already told you. And you accepted it.
I
So did I.
accepted
It's
it
okay. I accepted it.
wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And just,
Well, because
disclaimer,
if I
that's not how
didn't accept
everybody
it, what
feels about
did that
religion.
say about me? You know what I mean? If I didn't accept it, oh my God. Like,
Then I needed to work towards that because that's what I was being taught every week.
yes.
But anyway, I don't know. I definitely went a little overboard and I'm liking the journey I'm on now and we'll see where it takes us.
Yeah.
So there we are.
I'm so glad that you're on a more similar journey to me now. And just because I felt like it's not like we couldn't have talked. It's just that this is so important to me to be able to talk about things that are outside of it. And it feels like when somebody's still inside it, it feels like you're attacking their religion when you're just trying to tell them
Yeah, it does.
this is what it is for me. And I know you felt the need to save me. So
Absolutely.
glad that
I
we're
did.
out of
That's
that dynamic, because that like took part of our relationship away where we could have
I
like
did.
still been as like
Talking about things
close.
and having fun.
Yeah,
and,
but I left and it never got weird. That's the great thing, because I mean I don't think it ever could be.
we
But
can
it's
still
just
talk
that
and things, but it was
we
different.
just didn't have like things going on in our life that like aligned and we talked about, because when you're part of it, it's like, I don't know.
everything.
Did you ever feel like when you were talking to me, like how could you say something that might like speak to my heart, and you were trying to like get through to me?
Mhm.
Because I remember
Yeah,
doing
that
that
was-
with people, and you're not really listening to people when you're trying to think of how you can change their way of thinking.
Right. If I could just explain it right, she would
Yeah.
understand.
And I
she would
think
come back
that
to the fold.
And I think that on the other side, which is my bad too, I'm always like, man, if I could just say it in like a way that, because I want them to understand where I'm coming from, but where I'm coming from, like directly like contradicts their way of life. And so it's like
Yeah.
an attack. And I get that.
Well, and I'm the opposite. I'm like, I'm just on my own journey and I've like shut up about telling anybody anything because I'm like, who am I to say anything? But I think there's a
I
happy
don't
medium
tell anybody
somewhere.
anything. I just talk about things and I say my views on those things, and they contradict other people's views. So I'm not going to them saying, hey, change your views. I'm just putting my views out there too. And then it's starting conversations, but it's very like, it's polarizing. And I think we just need to keep talking and talking and talking. And like, as long as like, I
Learn
don't
to
think,
appreciate other people's views, even if they don't mirror your own.
yeah, but there's still that line, because I keep seeing these things like we can be friends and like disagree. But I think there's a line of where when your votes actively support things that harm people I love, which are just people, all people who deserve to do, live their life, then I could still be friendly with you. But I definitely am. I'm like, because I have great friends who are on the other side of the thing, but you're never going to get all of me, unfortunately, because I don't want to be like, I don't know, like bullying your beliefs or like crapping on your stuff. And so that means I have to reserve myself to an extent, which means, like,
you're not going to get the authentic version.
You can't, unless I can be authentically me at all times, because I can let you be authentically you. And sometimes that means, hey, we don't enjoy the same things, and that's fine. And I'm very much okay with being like, love you. We obviously don't have anything that kind of brings us together. So exist out there in harmony with me, but like doing your own thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Like I will never do anything to burn the bridge really, but there are people you choose to keep close to you and people you choose to speak to or see sporadically.
Yeah. I want to see everybody and talk to everybody. So I want everyone to be I'm that
Yeah.
kid at the playground that's like, want to be friends?
Right. I still want to be like, you're 40, I'm 40. We should be friends. Like,
We're best friends now. Oh my
yeah. Oh
Okay.
man, I never grew
Now
up.
I think we've
never grew up.
actually like got to stop because I think I'm running
Overstayed
out
our
of
welcome.
time. Yeah, we've
All
overstayed
right,
our
have
welcome.
fun
and I gotta
tonight.
go. I will.
Have the
Thank
best time.
you.
I want to hear
Yeah.
a lot about it. I was going to
We
say all
will.
about it, but some of it you don't need to.
I will tell you everything.
Guilty.
And then
All right.
come to my birthday party. I'm
All
turning
right.
40.
I will.
November. Talk to Cody about it. We'll talk about it later.
That'd be awesome. I would love
Okay.
that.
Yes. All right. Well, I love you. And I Lilas.
Lilas.
And I'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Or,
Okay.
whenever I do. Love you. Bye.
Whenever.
Mhm.
Bye.